How stupid do Harry, Meghan, and Dr. Gabor Mate think we actually are? I'm going to show you excerpts of interview that Dr. Mate just gave, which is doing the rounds. But people are unfortunately falsely representing it as though he regrets having done Harry's interview because Harry was lying or because he didn't believe Harry. That's not the case here at all. And in fact, Dr. Gabor Mate is not even being honest when he talks about why he regrets doing this. So let's get a little bit into this, because it shows why Harry and Meghan Markle, their mental illness is on full display and has been normalized. And it's been normalized because of people like Dr. Gabor Mate, who get into business with them. And when the backlash happens, then they regret it and blame it on somebody else. Let's explore this. And I hope, please watch this video till the end, because this is very important as to why Harry and Meghan Markle continue to do this. And it exposes the scam that people are willing to go along with it. And it's only when they get the backlash is that, oh, well, I didn't know. I call BS on that. So let's break this down.
Your interview with Prince Harry, how did that cause you to lose yourself?
Well, in two ways. One is I had a gut feeling all along that I shouldn't agree to doing it the way they set it up. Because the way it was set up is, in order to watch it, people have to buy a copy of Harry's book. And I thought, this is not fair. 4 million people have already bought the book. Why can't I watch this interview? Do they have to buy another copy? In other words, I believed that there should be a free public service on a part of two people who can have a very interesting conversation. But out of sheer opportunism, I agreed to it. So I didn't follow my gut feeling. So I lost myself even in agreeing to the format. And afterwards, Harry and I both wanted it released to the public for free.
Let's start here with the premise that Dr. Gabor Mate is not an imbecile. He's a well-read man. Yes, we can all have a lapse of judgment, but this was a well-planned contract between him and Harry and Meghan Markle. There were agreements made, consulted with lawyers on both sides. So now, after the fact, after he gets the backlash and he gets caught out, he is trying to excuse himself. Oh, but not only himself, Harry as well. Because he says later, when Harry and I wanted to do it for free, if Harry had wanted to do this event for free, he would have. He's the one setting up the contract with Dr. Gabor Mate, who I'm very sure got a percentage of that amount of money. This is why he's saying that, my gut feeling told me that this wasn't right. Yeah, it wasn't right. But, I can't remember what he says, but it's like, the money side of it, wasn't right for him, but he took it. I am pretty sure he's not giving back 1 penny that he got, because I am very sure also that he did not do this interview for free. I'm sure he got a percentage of that. So he regrets doing it because his gut feeling was telling him that it should be for free. Yet, when he signed that contract with Harry and Meghan to make people buy the book in order to listen to them talk, he didn't have any problems with that. I wrestled with my conscience, but, I shouldn't have done it, but, they should have it for free. So am I to assume that all the money that Dr. Gabor Mate got, he's given back? I would like that question answered. I would like that question answered, because he knew full well that they were using him to credibility to Harry's insanities, to Harry's craziness, to Harry's lies written in that book. Okay? He knew that. He's not a stupid man. He knew that he was there for one reason and one reason only, to lend credibility to Harry's lies. Because that Dr. Gabor Mate has never treated Harry. And even in this interview, I will leave, I don't know if I should promote that interview or not. I'm not going to leave the link. But even in this interview with this man, he's saying, well, Harry's a traumatized kid because when his mother died and he was 12, his father came in and didn't hug him. This is according to Harry, a confirmed liar, who after 2 years of having his family publicly bashed due to Meghan's defamatory lies about his family being racist, 2 years later, he waits 2 years later, because the desired effect of Oprah interview did not come to fruition. The royal family did not crumble under their lies and defamatory words. So 2 years later, he does an interview with Tom Bradby where he says, where did Meghan say that? Did Meghan say racism? Thinking that he's that smart. No, he's a complete imbecile. I've always said that Harry is UK's Forrest Gump. But at least Forrest Gump had morals and principles. Harry doesn't, which makes him dangerous because he has access to a huge platform. Thanks to the royal website, he still has credibility. Okay? And he's able to buy the conscience of Dr. Gabor Mate to give himself credibility and proclaim himself a victim. So in this interview, Dr. Gabor Mate still confirms that Harry is a victim because his father, according to Harry, didn't hug him when Princess Diana died. We have proven that Harry has lied in many things. He's a born natural liar. Okay? And when things don't go his way, he lies. He said that he's never been on the back of a bike in Spare Book. This is, with his father. Immediately, all the pictures come out of Harry on the back of a bike with Prince Charles. This is just one of the many lies. The Queen, Prince Philip. Maybe they didn't hug them in public, but even when they went to see the flowers laid at, outside of Buckingham Palace, you can see Harry clearly reaching for his father's hand. In public, they're hugging, games and stuff like that. You can see that they're hugging. There's intimate pictures of them hugging, playing. So Dr. Gabor Mate still insists that Harry is a traumatized kid because Harry said his father told him that Princess Diana died and then he went off. Even I, and you guys know, I have a deep dislike of Prince Charles. Don't buy that bullshit. Even I don't buy that bullshit. I will call out Prince Charles for many things, but I do not buy that bullshit. Even Princess Diana, the beautiful Princess Diana, said that Prince Charles was a very good father. Harry got a lot of cuddles. And even Princess Diana herself said that when they were growing up, Harry and William, she even dressed them equally because she didn't want any differences or want to feel slighted over the other. By all standards, Harry's not a sensitive child. He was a spoiled brat bully. The sensitive one was Prince William. Clearly, we see that now. So Dr. Gabor Mate still to this day validating the crap that Harry said without having ever treated him and taking his word at it in spite of the fact that Harry is a known liar. And in this interview that he gives himself a bunch of excuses as to why he did it. Yes, I should have known better, but yeah, I'm going to tell you why. He still went ahead with the interview, that you had to buy a book in order to watch that interview. Just watch the next clip. This man still, who writes about accountability, ownership, agency, still is not practicing any of those things. And in this interview, he made all kinds of excuses about things.
Wanted it released to the public for free, but the lawyer said you can't do that because this is advertised as a one-time only event, and there could be a class action suit. So the result was that I agreed to something that I didn't really like. Not that I didn't like the idea of talking with him. I didn't like the idea of putting this behind a paywall. So I lost myself just in agreeing to it. Number one.
Yeah, it's the lawyers. It's the lawyer's fault. There would have been a class actions lawsuit if they hadn't gone ahead with the interview as they both decided to do it. The one who would have, and this is him being very sneaky, Dr. Gabor Mate. You are being sneaky, because the one who would have been sued, who would have had a class A lawsuit, would have been you. Because if you later started thinking and doing research because you got caught up on the moment, and then you started looking at the internet and you started reading things and you were having second thoughts, and then you went to Harry and said, you know what, I don't want to do this, you were threatened with a class A lawsuit. Not Harry, because Harry's the one who signed the contract. Harry's the one who advertised that as a one-time event. It was Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, Archwell Foundation, organization, whatever you want to call it, who signed that contract with you. So it wasn't Harry who was going to be sued. It's you, Dr. Gabor Mate. And you're not being truthful about it. You're still trying to say, oh, Harry wanted to do it free. That's not true. Had he wanted to do it for free, he would have, but he needed to sell more books. At that point, Harry hadn't sold 4 million books. He probably reached 4 million sales after your interview and the people signed up to watch you, from which you got a percentage and were paid a handsome fee. Give back the money. If you're really that regretful, give back the money. So now you're blaming the lawyers. So now the lawyers work for Harry, not otherwise. And you had your lawyers review that contract when you signed it. And when you then started looking on the internet, you realize, shit, what have I gotten myself into? Now you want out. And you're threatened with a lawsuit, because that's what Harry and Meghan Markle do. And in this interview, instead of being absolutely honest, you're still lying. You're still not having agency to your own words. Agency, according to you, is owning up to your deeds, being responsible, accountable. You're still not being honest, because Harry would have never been sued, because he's the one who hired you to appear with him. So dishonesty all the way through. Dishonesty all the way through. Had you really been gutted by all of this, you would have risked the lawsuit. But you know what? I bet you something. Harry and Meghan would have never sued you, because then you could have, they are so scared of, they want to have a perfect PR image, that they wouldn't have sued you, because you would have exposed their greedy side, and they wouldn't have liked that, because they want to present themselves, falsely present themselves as altruistic. It's other people who are making them do this, other people who are making them sign that. No. Right now, Harry and Meghan Markle are in full control of all the contracts they get into, and they get into it willingly, not for charitable purposes. That interview with you was not for mental health, for really talking about mental health issues, was to make them money, make yourself money.
Number two, then there was the incredible social media and British media reaction to it. That was, for the most part, so negative and so demeaning and so dismissive and so distorted that I barely even know how to talk about it. I thought by this age I would know better, but you know what? It really got to me. It really got to me. I mean,
Yes. And here we have it, folks. The reason why you had such strong issues, it wasn't because Harry lied, or because you got caught, or you were making money out of this, whatever you want to call it, out of this contract. It's because you got backlashed. in your image because you are a narcissist, just like Harry and Meghan Markle. You didn't like what was said about you because, as you said, you sold gazillion copies of this book, but now you're being criticized. After this clip, guys, he goes on to say that Harry is a traumatized little boy. This is just what I told you. No. This is why he regrets not following his gut instinct. Number one, because probably after he signed the contract, he realized that these two people are toxic and it wouldn't be good for his reputation. And then he was told, if you don't follow through, we're going to fucking sue you. And number three, the backlash. Oh, my mental health. Grow the fuck up. You're a 79-year-old man, greedy man, who thought that by aligning yourself and making loads shit of money, you were going to be okay. What you didn't like was the backlash of associating yourself with this disreputable people who are exploiting people or very vulnerable people with mental health issues. And you are now part of that history. You are now part of their narrative of how you exploit that, and how you're still trying to validate and bring credibility to Harry's imaginary things, imaginary issues, at the hands of it's three narcissists caught in full display. You, yourself, and Meghan. Shame on you. Own it. Own it. The reason why you got the backlash is because people caught on to your little grift with Harry, and you don't like that they caught on with it, and it has affected your reputation. This is what happens when you make poor choices based on greed in order to exploit people with mental health issues. You have been markled. Beautiful people, if you were liking the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Please leave me your comments because this is very important. I haven't unsubscribed you, so please make sure that you still unsubscribe. For all those who have new subscribers, thanks very much for coming here and listening to me, and for all my always returning subscribers, thanks for always watching me. Yeah, and don't forget to click like, share, and subscribe. Buy the merch. Thanks for the super chats, it really helps the school. And for the PayPal donations, thank you very, very much. Yes, thank you. It was just a matter of time before Harry and Meghan Markle talked about Israel. They waited for the royal family to do it because they want to be in concert with the royal family. They waited for the royal family to do it. So they're the next royals who are doing it. What is King Charles waiting to tell them to stop using the royal titles? What is he waiting for? Why did he pay for the 7-car security or the 7-car convoy? Why is he still having them on the royal website? Why is he allowing Harry and Meghan Markle to still use the titles in public? Why doesn't he have fucking balls to say, you are harming the monarchy by using the names? Remove them from the royal website. They're no longer, they haven't stepped back. If they are indeed not working members of the royal family, why are they still listed on the royal website as the family members who support you to carry out your duties? Why? It is insanity that, I mean, I've been calling this out since March 31st, 2020. 21 wasn't. They were given the review. I mean, and then Meghan Markle and Harry's insanity in full display. This man is absolutely falling apart, and people are allowing it to, and watching Meghan Markle be the idiot. If Meghan Markle has such hatred towards social media, why does she have a website called Archwell? She shouldn't have any. Why is she claiming she's going back into Instagram? Why is she claiming that she was gonna, don't they delete Sussex Royal? They're both, you can see, I will show you side by side right now the difference between the set of the Prince and Princess of Wales talking about mental health and the one with Archwell Foundation. And when Meghan Markle thanks Carson Daly for being part of them, that. No, Harry and Meghan, they could, you know why they never do widespread shots of the audience? Because there was barely anybody there. They should have featured the parents who were talking about themselves, their stories, because that's what that whole thing was about. We haven't heard anybody's stories. If you go to the Archwell thing, you will see a bunch of pictures of Meghan Markle. I did my video yesterday and told you why she broke when Harry was shaking the man's hand. She actually broke in because she knew the picture was coming. And now we've seen all the articles. So Meghan combines flawlessly office with, no, she didn't combine anything flawlessly. She was on that stage naked, giggling at a very serious event about no tragedies that she has ever suffered in life. Because Meghan doesn't suffer from mental health issues. She causes them to others. Just look at her father, who had 2 heart attacks and a stroke. Her disabled sister. I found out that Samantha Markle is a veteran because she was in the Air Force. Her brother, Harry's family, Charlotte, a little girl who was bullied by Meghan Markle and Harry's employees. These people caused the children of an impoverished school in Harlem who were gagged from ever speaking, whose children were told not to tell their parents that they're being filmed, and their parents are the ones to keep their children secured. But no, Meghan thought that she knows better than the parents, that she was more than the parents. Can you imagine if somebody takes a picture of Lily and Archie, those invisible kids, without her consent? That'd be a lawsuit. There'd be police involved. Yet she felt entitled to come to a very poor school, stage that visit, and on top of that, gag them and tell the children, don't tell your parents. What does that sound like, if not abuse? I think it's time to take Harry and Meghan Markle down. I think it's time to put a stop to it. And the only way we can do that is by putting pressure to King Charles. It's not signing any bogus GoFundMe thing to ask Harry to please give up the titles. He already answered that. And the only ones making money out of that is the GoFundMe page and the person who set it up. Okay? Start a parliamentary petition demanding that the bill be not the House of Lords, but to Parliament. Stay, because don't forget that this is a constitutional monarchy. You have the power. Yes, the law is imparted in the king's name, but he's not the law. I know it's a weird thing. He's not the law. He's not above the law. He can be removed from the throne if Parliament finds he's not carrying out his duties or is being detrimental to the monarchy in the United Kingdom, which in my opinion he is, by still allowing Harry and Meghan Markle to continue using a royal title to interfere in another country's politics, to try to exercise censorship in another country and implement it even in Australia now. Nobody's safe from Harry and Meghan Markle. Please leave me your thoughts. And again, thanks always for watching.